Hi everyone, we're going to start in about 60 seconds. Thank you for joining us on the webinar, and this is going to be a 30-minute chat where we talk about the 9-week eviction program. Thank you to all of you who have joined us today. We're going to start in about 60 seconds, waiting for a few other folks on the West Coast who are coming in right now. But such a great webinar a few days ago on the eviction crisis. We had over 1,000 leaders from around America, mayors, county leaders, judges, sheriffs on the webinars. By far the largest webinar we've ever done. We do these quite frequently, but this was the largest. And we're looking, rethinking homelessness. I've been doing the work on homelessness for over a decade. We know that communities everywhere are trying to figure out what to do about this looming eviction crisis. We want to be there to help you, so we've put together our 9-week program. You're on this 30-minute information session because you want to learn more about it, and so we are going to dive into that right now. Again, if you have questions, please go ahead and ask questions in the, you can send your questions to, in the questions box. There's a question box on GoToMeeting. And actually, you can also email our staff. Many of you have that email already. But ask questions right now. We're going to try to answer all these questions in the next 30 minutes. So, 9-week eviction program. What does it look like, and how can you be a part of it? First and foremost, let me go over who we are. Rethinking Homelessness again. We're a national organization that works with mayors, law enforcement, United Way's, Continuums of Care, and others. This is what we've done for a long time. We've done work around America over the past decade. A lot of work in Florida, a lot of work in California. We've done work in Texas. We've done work all over the United States. Last year, we worked with mayors, county leaders, and sheriffs, judges in all 50 states around America. So this is what we do. We work at a leadership level and help communities come up with strategies. And so, you could go to our website, and there's all kinds of stuff on our website about the work we've done, and we're very proud of it. But this 9-week eviction program, it's a little bit different than things we've done in the past, and it's different because of the volume of people that want to be involved and need help right now putting together their strategy. I think many of you were on the webinar, and a couple of your impressions from the emails we've gotten are, oh my goodness, Andre, this looks completely different than a social service initiative than we've ever done in the past. That's exactly why it will work, is because the scale of the problem, the amount of people in need in your community in the months to come, you're not going to be able to do it the old way you used to. It's not going to work. So this 9-week program is about getting as many communities as possible. It's designed to help you get your community into a place of collaboration. You're going to have to bring leaders in that aren't city and county sheriffs, judges. You're going to have to work with the city and county, county sheriffs, judges. You're going to have to work with your nonprofits, and your nonprofits, your Continuums of Care, your United Ways are going to say, oh, just write us a check, we got this covered. That will not work. So it's going to have to be a collaborative work in a way that's different than anything you might have done before. We want to help you in this 9-week program design that, and each week our team is going to work with you through information coaching sessions, through one-on-one coaching sessions with a leadership team we help you put together and help you get to a place where you launch your very own initiative. So that's what we want to do. I want to say this to you. It's not in the program, but I think it's important. I was telling my team that we say this to you. This is only open for 30 communities to join, and then we have 20 left, but 30 total communities to join. And once it's full, unfortunately, we can't accept any more right now, just because of the volume it will take of coaching. We're going to expand our team. We're continuing to find every way possible to work with every community. But once all the slots are full, we're going to have to put you on a waiting list for October. And but we'll find ways to help you. I just want you to hear that this coaching session is going to be for the first communities that we can fill into it, and that's what we're working on. Again, answering your questions, we've got our 9-week eviction program, and these are the dates. So all of these would be 1 p.m. Eastern time, and these are the dates, and these are the topics. We've went through this already, but these are the 9 areas your community needs to work on. using data to shape your strategy and to understand your problem. Number 2, creating a new system for evictions. How do you, your city, county leaders, continuum of care, United Way, your judicial system, you can't do this without your local judges. You can't do this without bringing together the business community and landlords. So we're going to help you create a system in week 2. In week 3, we're going to help you take the collaboration and bake it into that system. Number 4, we're going to specifically work on the landlord engagement piece. It's so critical that your landlords have to be involved, and you're going to have to engage them in a completely unique way. We're going to help you do that. We're going to, number 5, look at how you target the resources. Targeting. Guys, it's heartbreaking. Candidly, it's heartbreaking to see some of the city county plans around America that they're just throwing money out on online portals. They're saying first come, first serve. It's going to be fair this way. It's not fair. It's not fair, and it won't work if you do that. Targeting is so important to this. We're going to help you do that, and we're going to help be bad cop even. If you need to go into your community and say, where did you get this targeting model? We're willing to be the bad cop and say that we helped you shape it, because it's critical that you do that you target resources to the most vulnerable. Number 6, you're going to have to strengthen your current homeless system, your shelters, those that are running your continuum of care, all those that are doing permanent supportive housing, rapid rehousing. You're going to have to strengthen that, but at the same time realize that COVID-19 impacts medically and economically the same vulnerable populations. So you can't send people to homeless shelters. You can't let them go into the old homeless system the way they used to. So how do you strengthen your homeless system while at the same time knowing the old homeless system won't work if you use it the same way for this problem? Number 7, on October 14th, the court system. The court system becomes ground zero for fixing, managing, helping families, and teaching you how to work with the specific judges in your community, how to city, mayors, county leaders, how to work with that judge, and how to work with law enforcement. Law enforcement is critical in this because law enforcement does the setouts, and law enforcement is going to have to also be involved in this as a community partner. Looking at your wraparound services, these are folks that the goal of this eviction program is to keep these people in their home as long as possible. Flattening the curve. Remember we talked about flattening the curve on COVID-19 from a medical standpoint. We need to flatten this eviction crisis curve as well, and flatten it by keeping people in their home. We cannot let people go homeless, go into shelters, and then try to get them another apartment. We will do that at times, but that is not optimal. We need to keep people in the home they're in right now. And then number 9, we want to help you launch this. Launch this publicly as a pilot if necessary, using CARES Act money, local money, and then knowing that whatever amount of money you have right now is not going to be sufficient. We're going to all work together to raise our voice to our Senate leaders, to our House leaders. Whatever your politics are, set that aside. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, all of us need to work together to get money, stimulus money, probably somewhere in the 50, 100, $150 billion range, put into communities, cities and counties, probably through the ESG model. We got to fight for that. You guys are not going to have enough money to solve this crisis on your own. So this is going to be, again, the 9-week eviction program, and want to make sure you have those dates if you're going to sign up. Those are the dates we're working on. So again, what does the eviction, how will we partner with you? What does all of this partnership look like over the next 9 weeks, really 3 months? Program curriculum, number 1. As part of the program, we're going to have hour-long webinar presentations, weekly trainings, as I just discussed. We're going to do one-on-one coaching sessions, real-time critical updates. We're going to help you guys learn from each other. We're creating a voluntary cohort. We're not going to tell your secrets that you tell us if you don't want us to. But by sharing what the other 20, 30 communities are doing inside of the cohort, many times anonymously or with permission, you're going to learn from the other communities that are doing this, and then additional coaching opportunities. Diving into this for a second, what do the weekly training sessions look like? We have, again, those weekly training sessions that cover these topics. These are the topics. When you look and break this down, let me show you the sequence of this. Every week, we think it's best to coach you on these topics in this sequence. We're going to coach everyone together. But then, what we do is move number 2 into one-on-one coaching. We're going to get on, can't fly to your community. I'd love to do that one day, but that's incredibly expensive, and I don't want to get COVID, and you don't want to get COVID. So we're going to do one-on-one Zoom coaching for every one of the communities in the cohort every week. And what we're going to do is we're going to match the one-on-one coaching to what week you are in the training. So every person who's in the cohort, we might be talking about data, then your one-on-one coaching that week will be on data. And we're going to have materials. We're going to go through every week. We'll have a digital packet we send you for you and your team. We're going to ask you, those that sign up, to create a team in your community of a committee working on the eviction crisis. I think your mayor, if you're doing this and you're a mayor, you're a county leader, those 2 individuals and their teams need to help chair this committee or their staff. We need to get the sheriff, we need to get the judge, we need to get a business leader, a faith leader. So we'll help you bring together a team of people, COC leader, maybe United Way leader, if that's applicable, but 6, 8, 10 people who every week get on with you and help you and will coach you on these topics every week. The third thing that's important is we're going to be giving you real-time critical updates on this eviction crisis. We have incredible relationships in Washington, D.C. We have incredible relationships with states, all the states in the union, and we're going to be giving you, sometimes on a daily basis, updates that you need to know around this eviction crisis and the homeless crisis that could happen if we're not able to follow, if we're not able as a country to find a path forward that we can follow. So one-on-one coaching and real-time critical updates on how this crisis is evolving. Number 4, as I mentioned, cohort learning opportunities. What a great thing to learn, not just from us, but to learn in real time on what other folks are doing. How are other folks using their data? How are other folks targeting, other communities targeting their resources? What resources are other communities using? You go to the city council, you go to the county commission, and they say the county commission says, you want to do what with what money to help the eviction crisis? And you say, listen, I'll show you 5 other communities that are doing that right now. The commission in Green Bay, Wisconsin, just is making this up, just passed that yesterday. And let me show you how they did it. Let me show you the methodology they're using with money. Let me show you how they're working on it. So using other communities in our cohort to teach yourself and to lead upward, I think, is a great part of what we're going to be offering you every single week. And then 5, this is just additional things that we can help you with. Communicating this to your stakeholders, working with local media, raising additional resources for flexible items not covered with government CARES Act local money. We can help you with issue-based topics, mental health crisis, chronic homelessness, social justice, opioid addiction crisis. You name it, we probably have worked on it or have worked on it. So these are really the 5 areas that the 9-week program can offer. We dive into it in a second, but many of you had asked. The program is $9,500 for the 9 weeks. Just diving into that for just a second, because that's question number 1. How much will the program cost? The program is $9,500. Important for me to say this about the cost of this program. So we are not a government agency, and we do not receive federal government money to supply this. So $9,500 is really our cost in doing the program. We're going to have some of the best experts in America who come on every week, coach you, work with you. We're going to have the greatest information out there on the crisis. We're going to coach you. We're going to pour into you. This is by far the least expensive program we've ever done. This is about 70 to 80% cheaper than any program we've ever put together. We would do it for free if we could, but unfortunately we can't. But what we have figured out is that $9,500, especially because many of you have flexibility with your CARES Act money, that's a very small amount of money we feel like that most of you can afford and will help us help you in this process. So we have to charge something because the program has cost to us. but we tried to look at this and charge as little as possible for every community out there, and we think $9,500 is a great cost to you. Just because people have asked, someone has said, well, do you have an exemption to this? Is there a way that, if we can't afford it, you can work with us? Madison from our team will be in touch with you. We are creating exemptions. Just know this, though. If you're a local jurisdiction, we would really ask that you look to your CARES Act dollars to help us cover the cost of this. But we're going to figure out how to help you, and we're excited that you want to help those in your community. There's a hardship exemption application form that Madison's going to contact you with. She'll probably email you the information within the next hour or two. The URL is already probably given to you in the comments section or in your email. And so we want to help you. Listen, everybody out there, take a second and look at me. We want to help you. We just have to figure out how to cover our costs. In doing so, this program I've worked with consultants, national groups. This is the tiniest fraction of what they charge for a program like this. So, but we're going to figure out how to help you. Question 2, we have fixed income and those who were unemployed via COVID with families. How do we help them? This is Wes, Grass Lake, Michigan. He's saying we have fixed income and those who were unemployed with families. How do we help them? So here's the scary part about this whole eviction crisis. Here's the scary part that I'll be candid with you about. There is no quick fix for this crisis. This is why we need $100 billion, $150 billion from our federal partners. Because unemployment, in my opinion, in the opinion of most economists, is not going to get better in the short term. And if it does improve, it's probably going to leave behind the vulnerable populations that were already cost burdened, were already on the verge of eviction, one paycheck away, some of these people that Wes is talking about. So this is going to take a long-term commitment and a new pathway forward for your community for the long term. And so gearing up for that is going to be incredibly important. I don't think this is a 90 days from now, everything's better and the world is better. This is, for many of you, and I'll get off this soapbox because I don't want to take up too much time when we have 30 minutes, but many of you have spent your whole career telling everyone and that will listen that there's this big group of people in your community that are struggling to eat, struggling to pay their rent, they're one paycheck away from the streets. Well, guess what? These people are the folks who have lost their jobs, who worked for a small business that shut down, who have lost part of their wages, and now those jobs aren't coming back and are not coming back quickly. We've got to create a long-term system. We want to help you do that. Number 3, how do we manage intense, more wealthy competition waiting to move to be safe rural community to avoid the displacement of our residents? How do we, Felicia in Hawaii, was asking basically about gentrification. How do we avoid getting people who, how do we avoid the poor getting poorer and this crisis ravaging the poor communities in a way that has long-term impact? I think, Felicia, that what community leaders are going to have to do is look towards intensive programs that start with keeping people in their homes, an eviction crisis, and then move in 2021 to how do we target employment, medical care, mental health services, all the kind of wraparound needs that these folks are going to need. We're going to need to target them in 2021 and beyond. But these folks need right now a housing lifeline, and that's what we're asking you to build in this eviction crisis. Again, if you have a question right now, please submit that. We've got some other questions. Let's see here. Just questions, and thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you're looking to be a part of the cohort, limited spots available, $9,500. We'll send you all the information that you're looking for and need. Tina asks, what are the dates again of the program modules? Simple way to think of this, Tina. They start Wednesday, September 2nd. they finalize 9 weeks later. The ninth week is 9 weeks Wednesday from there. So that's how it'll work, and we're actually looking forward to having you be a part of that, and we're going to be able to help you afterward with that, but that's how it goes. September 2nd for 9 weeks, Tina, and the coaching will happen, one-on-one coaching between there. Question 2, Daniel asks, how do we know if or when a community in our area is doing your program so we can participate with them? That's actually a really great question, Daniel. So here's what we'll do. We're going to go through and look at everyone. There's so many people on this. There was over 1,000 leaders, hundreds of communities around America on the webinar. We now have tons of those folks, tons of communities currently on the on this information session. We're going to follow up with each of you individually and let you know who's doing this, probably even in your state or close to you. So, but we will absolutely let you know who also from your area could be also trying to work on this. Let me go through the dates again, because some folks asked about this. And I wanted to say this to you. I would say this because I think this is important. We believe this is the sequence you need to go in. And there's a method to the madness here. September 2nd, Wednesday, September 2nd, we will start with helping you shape the data in your community that tells you what your eviction crisis looks like. Here's one reason why that's so important. If some of you mayors, you're trying to get the county commission involved, you're trying to get the city mayors involved, United Ways, sheriffs, judges, whoever you are, somebody out there has got to go build a coalition, and data is going to help you do that. So we want to start with helping you build a very simple but clear data picture of the eviction crisis in your community. You've probably got a lot of this built already, but we want to help you build that out, and then cascading September 9th into that first kind of evangelism. You guys are going to have to be evangelists in your community, not of religion, but evangelists of getting the community to look at a new way of doing evictions and look at a collaborative that probably doesn't exist. If it already exists, that's great. You're a step ahead. But for most communities, what we've heard is this is something different than we've ever done before on evictions. And oh, by the way, these people don't really work together. Our city doesn't work with the judges hands-on. We don't have a committee working together. The county kind of doing their thing, the city doing their thing, judges kind of doing their thing, law enforcement, United Way. We got to build a collaborative. And so if you look at the sequence of our weeks, the sequence helps you take a strong data position, recruit, get your head around what the system looks like, be an evangelist, get some folks on week 3, the collaborative, and then start from there building it piece by piece. So this is the sequence, and we believe the sequence makes sense in how you're going to be successful. Sean in, I think it's Wisconsin, what type of guidance will be provided through the coaching session versus the webinars? So here's the difference. The webinars are really going to be, hey everybody, let's go through all of this, and here's your homework, right? When we get on the coaching sessions are going to be, all right, let's talk about what's going on in Green Bay. Let's talk about, let me see your data. Let's look at how, we're gonna get in, roll up our sleeves and dive into your particular community situation and help you figure out what's working, what's not working. So the coaching sessions are you talking to us, my team. A lot of times it'll be me. Other times it'll be other leaders from our leadership team. And we're also, other times we're going to bring in some of the best people in America to help. We have relationships with the top minds on homelessness in America, and we're going to be bringing them to work with you. Another question here with just a few minutes to go. What kind of leaders will be guests during the webinars? I will just say this to you, that although we're confirming those leaders now, we do a lot of work with some of the top experts out there. Barbara Poppy, if you know Barbara, will certainly be on some of our webinars. Barbara was the former homeless czar for America during the Great Recession. helped craft some of the policies that impacted that homeless crisis. We also will be working with some of our mayor friends, bringing on some mayor advocates. We've got advocates. We've got the top minds from around America on each of these issues that we're going to be bringing in, that we're going to be coaching you one-on-one. I'll just tell you this. You do this 9-week program, I promise you, I'll make you this promise. You're going to have the best information out there when you're done, and the best model out there that you can implement as money comes in to help those in your community. Stephen from Florida, my home state, says, please elaborate on how data to target vulnerable populations will be used. Stephen, what we have worked on is we have come up with a data template. It's simple. A lot of the work we're going to partner with you on is simple but powerful. We have a data template, and that data template is we're going to ask you, plug in, find these data sets in your community. Many of the data sets have to do with vulnerable populations. Many of the data sets have to do with unemployment numbers. Many of the data sets have to do with targeting industries that are unemployment, COVID, job loss numbers, elderly numbers, impoverished communities. We've got a data format that we've put together that we think when you add all of your data up, there's going to be a better picture, a better story to tell stakeholders in your community on this eviction crisis and what's coming. It's going to be, I think, a scary, when you do the data the way we have you lay it out. I think it helps you evangelize other people on how big the crisis is and what you need to do as a community. Thank you. Daniel, are the webinars free and the coaching sessions cost $9,500? No. So all of this that I've went through is only for those who are part of the program, are in the city, county, law enforcement, sheriff cohort. If you sign up for the program, the information session webinars are only for the 30 communities that will be a part of that cohort, and the one-on-one sessions only for that cohort. We're going to try to get information out around America through some email blasts, but we just simply don't have the resources to coach every community in a hands-on way, the way they need to be coached. This is why we created this cohort. We're going to be doing these cohorts, and we're going to start another one in October when this one fills up. A lot of the slots are already starting to be taken, and we think that this cohort will be full by next Friday. We've got a couple more information sessions, but we think it'll be full by next Friday, and then we'll start putting people on the waiting list for the cohort that starts the first week of October. But we want to figure out how to get everyone a lot of information on the eviction crisis, but folks need coaching, folks need hands-on training, and we want to help you and your community do that. So again, just going through the 9-week eviction program modules, using data, looking at the system, building a collaborative, working with landlords, targeting resources, strengthening your current homeless system, using the courts and law enforcement, community eviction wraparound services, and launching your pilot program. This is what you'll be doing. Madison from my team is going to be following up with you. The program is $9,500. We would give it to you for free if we could. We really would. It's by far the least expensive program we've ever put out. It's going to be hands-on. We're going to help you in every way possible. And we know that with a system that looks a little different, but really plays on the strengths of your community, and with the federal resources that are going to come at some point, you're going to have the tools, the system, the leaders necessary to help keep thousands of folks from being homeless in your community. Madison from our team will be in touch with you. She has emailed many of you. Go ahead. If you have a question, just send her a question right now. Email her back. She'll get back with you. There's no question that's too broad. There's no dumb questions here. We want to help you. I'm Andre Bailey. I would love to help you. If you're interested in me, put Andre Bailey and homelessness in your Google right now. I think you'll see that we've done a lot of work around America on homelessness. I was a speaker at the U.S. Conference of Mayors a couple years ago. I talk to mayors around America constantly, work with counties, done work on this for a very long time. And this is what we do. This is what my team does. This is what I do. And this is what needs to be done right now. Communities coming together to put a new system in place on the eviction crisis. Andre Bailey, I'm the founder, CEO of Rethinking Homelessness. On behalf of me and my team, thank you for joining this information session. Any other questions you have, reach out to us right now. If you're interested in signing up, we'll give you all the information on how to do that later today. Guys, thank you. God bless you for what you're doing for those in need in your community. We'll be talking soon.